There were plenty of surprises on the pristine waters of the Riverside Jet Track in Crownthorpe in Hastings at the last round of the Jet Pro Championship. And the biggest surprise was that Bevan Muir finally beat his teammate to pip him as the number one driver in Group A. His 48.26 too good for Gray's 49.02. So we head to Wanganui, and the difference being this next round will be in the dark. Welcome to the penultimate round of the Jet Pro New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championships here at the Shelterview Jetsprint track in Wanganui. The difference, as I said, the racing will be done under lights. The Wanganui club saw it in Australia, they liked it. It's taken a massive amount of organisation and hard work, and one of those hard workers was Richard Murray.
We were more organised with this event than we have any other event, so we finished about a week ago and it was really good. So, yeah.
I was talking to Leighton Manel before. He said you guys have been out here testing. What's it like with underlights?
You know, it's pretty good. You can certainly see where you're going now compared to last year. You know, it was not too bad last year, but there's a few darker spots in the track, but we try to get the lights more even.
So if we have a look at the points going into round 5, it is Baden Gray on top and Teng Tools Racing. Second place, the veteran Red Smith, and in third, it is Bevan Muir. Sam Udick is 4th, Ray Ferguson 5th, and Blake Bryant is in 6th place. Well, he won't go too much further because he could only manage 16th in the top 16. They had navigational errors and all sorts of problems in the darkness for Blake Bryant and John Randall. Brian McDonald and Neil McDonald couldn't get to grips with the darkness either. They would end up finishing in 15th place. Going like a bullet at gate was Blair Gibbard and Joanna Bayliss, but it was only good enough for 14th, their best time, a 1:08. 13th place was a double-driven boat in the form of Phil Whelans and Katie Quantrell. A navigational error early on didn't get much better, and their best, 1:08.26, only good enough for 13th. In 12th place, it was Mark Shirtliff and Greg Fusion, the boat he double drives with Gary Choco Smith, their 1:06.346, good enough for 12th. In 11th place, it was Don Wood and Colin Welsh in Redskin. They are another one that had trouble getting to grips with the darkness here at Wanganui. Well, the son could do it, but Dad couldn't. Mark Newdick and Ollie Silverton finished up 10th overall, their best time, a 1:02.2. Simon Campbell was making another appearance in the National Championships, but he's not running for points. He was the last of the non-qualifiers in Opiki Spud. So it is Bevan Muir on top with a 57 dead, 57.03 chasing hard as his teammate. And Richard Murray, what a performance for the Ford-powered mean machine of 58.22. Sam Udick in there as well. Further down through the order, a couple of surprises, the biggest being Blake Bryant, 6th in the championship, couldn't get to grips with the darkness at Wanganui. Well, things certainly change when the darkness comes down. This is the top 8 in Scott Waterjet's International Group A, and this is Ray and Nikki Ferguson.
Don't these things look fantastic under lights? Just brings a whole new dimension to jet sprint racing.
Yeah, that's right, and look at the lights. I mean, so different from last year when they first tried it. Much more lighting makes the driver's job a little bit easier, but there's still a couple of black spots out there. You'll see them, Jamie.
Ferguson just getting a rough crossing over the water there. Split coming up for Ferguson. His fastest time to now has been a 59.60. There's the split.
36.41 at the split for Ray and Nicky Ferguson. Oh, he just gets a little bit wide. Well, he's throwing it all.
You can see the exhausts glowing in the night time. This is spectacular stuff from Ferguson. He is laying it all on the line.
He is giving it everything. Ray and Nicky Ferguson, the boat is out of him, and it's gone wrong.
Up and over.
Oh, he hit the island, and it's on fire as well. Well, they got drama here at the Shelterview Raceway, under lights here. Ray and Nicky quickly out of the boat, but that fire raging in the back. I'd say there's some spilled oil on the headers.
Well, the safety equipment doing its job. That was a big off, and you could see that coming a couple of corners before, right there.
Yeah, he got it on the grass, and then they were along for the ride. Look at this, 1, 2, back on to its wheels. If it was a car, back on to the hull and the big fire.
The thing was sort of leaning out, and you could feel it because it was surging down the straights, and it's all my fault, but basically it sort of broke my concentration because I was actually going to abort the run because I thought I might damage the engine, but I carried on and trying to sort of, you're thinking about the engine surging and where you're going in the middle of the night and under lights, and it all just got all stuffed up in the end, and that's the result of it basically. Yeah, she was history after that. At the end of the day, it wasn't the best result in the world, but hey, hasn't got too much of a dent in it, and it's still on the trail and it's still going to be running, so.
Well, this huge crowd here at Wanganui enjoying the action under lights. It's the second time the club's tried it. This is Shane Wood, and he's had his problems early on in the daytime with a navigational error, but as it's got into the darkness, he's come right, Jamie.
Well, he's had a navigation error and a couple of DNFs over the runs. The fastest time of 1:0.096, but he's definitely going to have to find some time. Problems there, you can hear the jet unit cavitating as the boat just stalled in the water.
Well, just about came out of the water. So another one living dangerously here under the lights at Wanganui. It is Shane Wood.
He's just struggling for traction in the tighter corners with this rotation, looking for the split to come up. Ferguson's was a 36.41, 37.5, so he's down on Ferguson's time already.
And it's a difficult rotation here too, and if you get it wrong, well then you're playing catch up, and that's, I think, what Shane Wood's doing.
So Shane Wood in Outlaw Racing, he has made a mistake.
He has, he's gone the wrong way. Well, I said it was a difficult rotation, and it's all going to be for nothing for poor old Shane Wood. His bad luck in the season continues. He and Craig Shaw aren't going to progress any further because of a navigational error. Have a look at it here. 2 Shane Woods, 1 from the top 16. That's the picture on the left-hand side of the screen. From the top 8 is on the right, and there he gets it wrong.
Just went a little bit too long and ran around the second island, and that was enough for the navigational error.
Well, Reg, you and Phil use your initiative, put headlights on the boat. The big question is, did it work?
Well, you know, it's pretty hard to tell, to be honest, Phil, unless we go out there next time without them on and see what happens. But, you know, I'm sure it helped. It wasn't distracting, so I guess it can't be doing any harm.
And in the darkness, I guess there's more sort of pressure on Julie because she's directing you which way to go.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about the lights. I can actually see her hand, you know, so she's got a hand up there and I can actually see it.
Well, they've been thinking as we've come up to the run-up to the nighttime races here at Wanganui, the penultimate round of the Jet Pro New Zealand Championship. And you heard Red Smith there saying, yeah, we've put headlights on it. Easy to see for the spectators, and there's a huge crowd here tonight.
Hard to see for our cameraman. It's like a WRC car coming at you in a familiar nighttime stage. 58.63 for Red Smith. In the white pointer, split coming up, and he's, the better part of 2.5 seconds slower than Bevan Muir's fastest lap at a 55.9.
Yeah, but it's more about getting to the finish on this very difficult rotation, and throw in the fact that we're doing it in the dark as well. Red Smith looking for a good split time, and he gets one. 34.68. That's the fastest split we've seen in the 8.
Well, something by it's about 1.8 seconds, so he's definitely hauling the mail here at the moment.
But Reg is one of the veterans, and he's raced in the darkness before, and he told me in Australia when the light went away, the times increased by about 4 or 5 seconds. We're not seeing that here at Wanganui.
57.96 his fastest lap so far.
And so far in the 8, the only one to post a time, which is pretty incredible. Next to go, Sam Udick. Well, listen, brand new to him because Jetsprinting's pretty near brand new to him. First year in International Group A and first time under the lights here at Wanganui. He wasn't there when they tried it last year, but this year we got a whole lot more lights and a whole lot more people too. There are thousands and thousands of people here watching this, and what a spectacle they're seeing, Jamie.
Well, absolutely. Sam Udick started in the right direction at a 56.8. He was actually the second quickest through the qualifying runs, but then just started backing up some time as it got darker. Here's the split coming up for Udick, 34.39. That's the fastest split so far.
Well, he's gone faster than Reg and Julie Smith, which is something in itself.
So looking to go quicker than a 57.9 that we just saw set by Reg Smith.
Oh, he looks good too. He's boating right down the centre of the course. The darkness isn't a problem for Sam Udick. He's been eating his carrots. He heads down to the finish line now. 57.83. He does go faster than the Smiths. Well, Richard Murray's been doing a bit of testing and a bit of practice here on his home patch, if you like. He's been part of the Wanganui club that's put this whole thing together, put the lights in, tested in it in the darkness with a couple of other Wanganui-ites, and he likes it. And his times show it. He has improved out of sight from his previous rounds.
58.22, so he's not too far off the pace of the likes of Reg Smith and Sam Newdick at the moment. So this is a good return for Richard Murray. Split coming up in a few.
This looks like another quick run here for Richard Murray, and it is 34.27. It's not often you say that Richard Murray has got the fastest split so far.
Well, he's gone quicker than Newdick and Smith, so this should be a pretty sensational lap for Richard Murray and Kesty Manning.
Working that last difficult corner and heading down towards the finish line now. It's going to be in the 57s, I would think. It'll need to be if he wants to go any further. 57.04 again. They go quicker in Scott Waterjet's Group A. Andrew Guthrie comes out with Janine Ingram, another one that's done a little bit of practice here at Wanganui.
They need to find some time though. Their quickest lap's been a 59.2 in qualifying session 3. Since then they've just backed up a little bit. Listen to it lose traction.
Well, plenty of slip there for Andrew Guthrie, and he needs something to resurrect his pretty poor by his high standard season so far.
Lots of RPM, you can hear the engine on the limiter. Split coming up for Guthrie, but it just looks a little bit untidy.
Well, they have struggled a bit, but they look at home here at Wanganui.
Just hear it losing traction again, 37.49, so he's actually just a tenth quicker than Shane Wood's split.
And Wood would be on the bubble now as we get through the eliminations. Top 8 here at Wanganui under lights. This time's going to blow out. The front runners have been in the 57s. This is going to be a whole lot more than that, I think.
Still a couple more boats to come, though, so we might have something. But out over the minute mark, 1:02.63.
Well, this guy, you can probably put the house on the fact that he's going to go a little bit quicker than the minute. This is Bevan Muir, and he's been fast.
He is on fire. A 55.9, the only boat in the 55s in qualifying session 3.
And that was in the sort of dusk. It's a whole lot darker now, but he hasn't slowed up too much.
All of these drivers will be running different visor combinations. You can see there the clear visors. A lot of these drivers run a tinted visor in the day, especially with the sun glare. Definitely don't want to be running a tinted visor here tonight.
Well, funny you should say that, because Bevan experimented with a tinted visor as the darkness came down. It wasn't in the boat, he was just walking around. I said to him, what's the story with that? He said, well, the glare from the light sometimes gets us.
33.26, that is a ballistic split time.
Well, that'll get your attention.
I think that'll get everyone's attention. Another sub 56 maybe coming up for Muir. He's got a little bit in reserve, 56.39. Not quite, but that's not too far away from his 55.
But it's good enough to eliminate Andrew Guthrie, so he goes out. Reg Smith on the bubble now as Bevan Muir's teammate comes out, and that is Baden Gray.
We haven't said that this season. Reg Smith on the bubble.
Yeah, that's right. He's shown all that consistency right through his good results in Australia. And here as we get to the penultimate round of the National Championships in New Zealand. And now he's in trouble. He's in danger of being eliminated.
Baden Gray, the points leader, 57.03 in the top 16. His best run of the weekend.
Well, not only the points leader, but the dominant competitor in Scott Waterjet's International Group A. Let's have a look at the time. 33.20. So he goes faster than his teammate, and that is the fastest split we've seen.
By 6/100ths of a second. This could be a sub 56. The first sub 56 for Baden Gray for the weekend, head to head with his Teng Tools Racing teammate, Bevan Muir.
Well, this has got huge repercussions for the championship as well, because maybe the teammates are going to be 1-2 because they're going to knock out Reg Smith, and they have. 55.68, unbelievable time for Baden Gray in the darkness. He tops the table, his teammate is second. And what about Richard Murray? The boy from Wanganui is in third. He'll go through, and so will Sam Newdick. Well, the darkness is well and truly descended on us here at Wanganui. You're watching from, well, virtually what Baden Gray can see, and that's not a heck of a lot, as they wind up Teng Tools Racing and head down into this very fast first turn here at Wanganui.
Haven't they done a fantastic job with the presentation of this facility, down from the lights to the channel markers on each side of the islands to let the drivers know where they are on this race course through the rotation.
Well, that's right. All the club members have been out with the white paint brushes, painting the tyres and then putting in the little stakes that you can see on the apex of the corners, and it's certainly helping these guys. It's helping them to keep the speed up, and that's what they're doing. And just about a mistake there for Baden Gray, and he can't afford to make one.
There's the split, 33.59. It cost him probably 3/10 from his previous best split in the top 8. 55.6 has been the benchmark so far tonight for Baden Gray, the fastest lap of the round here at Wanganui.
Well, that was in the top 8. This is the top 4. We'll cut him again to just 2. And I think you could put the house on it that this guy will be there, because this is going to be another fast run. It is another fast run. It's a 55.81.
The second fastest lap of the weekend. He owns both of them at the moment.
He does. Well, this is a surprise package, if you like, of Scott Waterjet's Group A this season. This is Sam Newdick and Nick McIndoe. And they've been quick as well, but not quite in the 55-second bracket.
57.8 in the top 8. Their best was actually their second best lap. They did a 56.8 in qualifying 2, which is probably in better light. Oh, wide there on the island. He's cutting it close.
Interesting to note that that was one of the corners that didn't have the tyre markers or the little white stick, so maybe visibility is going to be a bit of a problem here as the darkness gets a little bit more severe at Wanganui.
Split coming up. His previous best was a 34.39, 34.02, so he makes a gain.
He's gone quicker. He's going to need to go quicker still, though. He needs to be in the 56s if he needs to get to the next elimination. It's a big ask for the GJ Gardner Holmes boat.
Isn't that a great shot with the exhaust pipes glowing in the rear of the boat? Here's the time coming up, a little bit untidy in the second half of the lap.
It is a 57.13. Sam, you think you've done enough?
Hopefully, fingers crossed. There's a lot of moisture in the air, It's just hard with no visor, so visibility's a big downfall.
Well, that's another thing we should talk about. Because it is bitterly cold here in Wanganui tonight, there is a lot of moisture in the air. It means these boats are going to be making slightly more horsepower than they were making in the qualifying sessions in the daylight. Now, that could catch the odd driver out.
So Richard Murray did a 34.27 to his split in the top 8. He's definitely going to be, he need to be probably at least that, if not better. Oh, the back of the boat out of the water.
Oh, anxious moments for the man from Wanganui, the man that owns the property. Well, he's got a Ford in the back of the boat now, and he says it runs a little bit better than the Chevy they started with. Is he going to run good enough to make to the next elimination? 34.78. He's a little bit off the pace. He's set in the top 8.
Half a second, the boat getting right up out of the water. It's not lacking for horsepower. I just don't know that they've got the handling quite right at the moment.
Well, he was a bit of a surprise in the 8. He was top 4. Let's see what he can do here. He's going to need to bring it home pretty darn quickly. It needs to be in the 56s. It's not going to be. It's going to blow out. It's going to be over the 58-second mark. It is 58.11 for Richard Murray.
Oh, I bounced off a few islands here and there. It was a pretty hairy run, actually.
Noisy enough as it is.
Bevan Muir on the charge. Looking to repeat from last round in Hastings. His teammate has already set the benchmark, and what a benchmark it is. 55.69, that was in the 8. 55.81 in the 4. This is the last boat to go in the 4.
Yeah, so Richard Murray's been eliminated effectively by his own run. Sam Newdick now sits on the bubble. Bevan Muir playing a little bit of catch-up now. Baden Gray's just eclipsed his times in the last couple of runs. Split coming up for Ting Tools Racing, the current NZ1.
33.39. Well, it's a little bit off the pace of Baden Gray, but we know Bevan, when he gets a bit between the teeth, there's no stopping him. And look how close he is to the tyres. I'm sure he's using that as a reference point.
He only needs to do a 57 to get ahead of Sam Newdick to get into the final, so he may be leaving it the best till last. Here's the time coming up.
Well, he's beaten the 57.
55.92, another 55.
So it will be the teammates, Baden Gray and Bevan Muir, facing off in the penultimate round of the Jet Pro New Zealand Jet Sprinting Championships under lights here at Wanganui. So first to go is Baden Gray. He is the points leader. He is the quicker of the two on the overall times, but we clean the slate. We start again. Those 55s don't mean anything. 1, you got to post the time. 2, you got to get around the course. And for many tonight, that's been a problem.
Well, there's only a 1/10 of a second difference between them in the top 4 to run to get them through to the final. This is Baden Gray. His best split was a 33.2. And that was in the top 8.
He went a bit slower in the 4. He can't afford to go slower here in the 2 if he wants to pip his teammate and extend that pretty good points lead he's got in Scott Waterjet. 33.22. Well, he was listening. He hasn't gone any slower. He's gone faster.
He's found time as it's got darker here in Wanganui under the lights. Baden Gray bringing it home. Bevan Muir sitting on the sidelines, ready to get in this identical boat. Here's the run to the line. This is quick.
It is quick. It is a great time. 55.25, fastest lap we've seen.
I think the hairpin was a little bit untidy, but I was up it pretty much everywhere. So yeah, I think it might have been similar to the last one. It's probably in the 55s, but I don't know the time yet.
And that'll put it right about where Bevan ran in his last one as well,
Yeah,
so
mate,
it'll be
yeah.
desperately close.
It will be, mate. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Well, Bevan beat his teammate at the last round in Hastings. That was in the daylight. This is in the darkness, totally different, although these guys have made a nonsense about saying totally different because they've gone quicker and quicker and quicker. What can Bevan Muir do? He's got to beat that 33.22 if he wants to get all the chocolates.
Baden Gray's last three splits have been 33.2, 33.5, 33.22. Bevan Muir, 33.26, 33.39. So it's going to have to be in that low 33-second bracket to take it to Baden Gray.
Well, this looks pretty fast so far, Jamie, although having just said that, I just detected a slight miss in the engine. Maybe the boat's gone off.
Well, it looks tidy. Here's the split, 32.87. That's the best split.
Perhaps I'm dreaming. That's the fastest we've seen. Forget about the light, forget about the darkness. That is fast.
Keep an eye on it, listen to it.
Oh, it doesn't sound 100%. Maybe my first indications were true. Nah, it's definitely got a problem.
There's an oil light on the dash.
Well, there's drama here for Ting Tools Racing across the line, 55.64.
She just started missing halfway through the run and just got worse and worse, and hey.
So was it maybe one lap too much? You said the old boat would be straining a bit.
Oh, it's so hard on it, eh? Just and in the dark, you just can't see. You're in and out, and you don't get to go through everything. You know, it's the pleasures of double driving, but these things happen.
Well, you see the result there, Baden Gray with that 55.25 and Bevan, his teammate, in second place, but perhaps Ting Tools Racing has cried enough. Overall, well, no real change. Still Baden Gray with a healthy advantage in Scott Waterjet Group A. Second place is his teammate. Reed Smith now drops back to third place, and it's the new boy in Group A, Sam Newdick, who is fourth. Fifth is Ray Ferguson, and sixth it is Blake Bryan.